Good afternoon and welcome to Inside News. It's our Friday show on the mark. Myself and Shahil are here again. We're going to go through the card with you as best we can. Hopefully try and help you get through this pretty tricky card in the beginning. Towards the end it looks a little bit easier. But I have to say in the first couple of races it does look a little bit tricky. So let's see if we can help you as far as selections are concerned. Shahil, it is Mother's Day on Sunday. We've got to help the guys find a bit of money to get their moms a nice gift. Yeah, so let's hope we can do that for our viewers. All right, let's start off with race 1. It's a 1400 meter 020. And I can't help but think that Radlett looks like he's ready to pick up his next win here in Mauritius. If you go back to his first win in Mauritius, it was over 1450. This is a 1400. I think he's probably ideally distance suited. He is 2 kilograms better off with Valorant this time, and he's got the one draw. There was a good run behind Redwood Valley last time, and I think, as far as I'm concerned, he probably stands out in this field, probably because his two dangers are poorly drawn.
Yeah, that's right. With that barrier one, he should be the horse to beat, and like you said, Redwood Valley, he came out and won again last week in a very good style. Being drawn wine, he'll probably be in the box seat. So, and Jamil Listenhouse only won right this Saturday, so he's gonna have to make the most out of it. But I do prefer number 3 actually, Charles My Boy. That was a great first up against Xanthus. Last time he finished 6th against Mind Blowing, but that was on a benchmark of 36. He drops to the 020, and this horse has always been running very well. He's also drawn free. Radlett will be on his inside, but if he can try a tactical race, Dinesh Cheval has been riding really well for the Vincent at its stable. So let's see how Charles My Boy goes.
Okay, Valorant, obviously this is his 4th run of the season, but he's sort of found his form. There was a good win last time when he beat Beretta Bobcat, but well, he is same division, but he's up in weight. He's got that 10 draw to deal with, although, well, actually drawn 9 now because your emergency acceptor will be coming out. And he did win from an 8 draw last time when he went off to the front. I thought it was quite a good win. Obviously, well, I just think it's going to be a little bit tougher for him this time, especially with that. There is that 2 kilogram swing with Radlett.
Yeah, like you said, and I don't really like the thing that he's dropping back to a 1400. He did took some time to get going last time out. Let's see how he goes. And I remember once you told me that when those horses get their first win, they get that confidence. So let's see how Valorant goes.
Yeah. Let's see how he goes. And I just want to talk about one other horse, Logan. I see if you could take that form line of Redwood Valley, he finished just over a length and a half behind them. He has got a 4 kilogram claim this time, and obviously with the Valorant winning and getting his penalty, I think Logan, if I worked it out, my maths isn't brilliant, but I think he's about 5 kilograms better off. So with a horse like Valorant, but unfortunately he's drawn 11. Now Bill Shake's still looking for his first winner. Maybe Logan could pull it off for him, especially in this sort of category. You know, you always get sort of results, but I think Logan with that big weight turnaround, I suppose you can't ignore him.
Yeah, you can't, because like you said, he's never far off the winner. Just take a look at his 2 last start. Like you said, featherweight, but awful draw. So let's see also how he goes.
Okay, all right. Well, let's race 1. It's tricky. I think Radlett might just pull off his second win here in Mauritius. Right, race 2. It's a 990 benchmark 36, and I don't know, I wouldn't say for some reason, I see the bookies have priced up Rob Roy as the favourite. I'm a little bit surprised because Cape Horn, the way he won last time with those blinkers from that 9 draw, this time he's obviously drawn a lot better. He's drawn 5 this time. I was very impressed with that win. It looked like he just jumped in at the 200 and he really won a good race, and I'm going to put him ahead of the favourite Rob Roy.
Yeah, like I said, very impressive winner last time, even if he was a surprise winner. He was wide throughout the race, and the way he just quickened up, that was really nice. I think the blinkers also has done the trick with him, and he's really suited to this 990. So let's see how he goes. Actually, I've got another value bet, and this time it's going to be my value bet. I like number 8, actually, Danger Rock. I know this horse does like the 990. He's his comeback run, but he has a lot of work, Danger Rock. I think we did mention him quite some time before on Jour de Gallo. He's drawn 4. He's down in class because his races last year was in a benchmark of 41. So if Striker Stratum is ready to strike, that could be a striking debut.
Yeah, I've got Danger Rock down as my second choice as well, and like you said, Pierre Stratum's first ride, the horse is working very well. There was a good run to Maximo, and he has improved sort of with every run, and I think he sort of improved over the off-season. I remember his first run, he was very green, and he's just sort of got better with racing, and I suppose Danger Rock must be a danger. And then obviously you have to talk about Rob Roy. He is the favourite. Yeah, there wasn't a bad run, 3 lengths behind the impressive Rule the Night. He got beat 3 lengths in that 3L championship. You would imagine that this is going to be a little bit sort of weaker for him because I've ruled the night, and that also Lecario as well, who's running later as well, was in that race. But Rob Roy, the thing that puts me off about him is obviously that draw. He's a horse that likes to be right up in front, and he has got a lot of speed, but could he just maybe burn himself out a little bit early on to get over from that draw? I think it's just going to be a little bit tough. And Cape Horn, he beat AP Strike last time. AP Strike came out and won, so that form line's pretty good. I'm going to go with Cape Horn to beat Danger Rock, your value bet, and number 3, Rob Roy.
Yeah, same trifecta, just in a different order. Danger Rock, Rob Roy, and Cape Horn.
Okay. All right, let's move over to the third race. It's a 1600 meter benchmark 41, and quite on form-wise, quite a tough sort of race. Obviously, Memphis Mafia, you got to respect him. He did win in 41 last year on the International Day. Wasn't penalised. Last time drawn in the bush, and he sort of was way out of his ground. He did run on. He got beat 4 lengths by Boyer. But you have to think that this time with the one draw, he's going to probably be in a lot better position. And he probably, I'm not making him a banker by any stretch of the imagination, but he's probably going to be my sort of reluctant first choice. It's not an easy race. You know, your horses like Mind Blowing, even Nordic Chant. This horse has been working extremely well, and you got to appreciate the chances of Nordic Chant. Shahil, tough race. Where have you gone here?
I'm going with Mind Blowing. I did mention him. He was my last horse on Joe de Galodin's Wednesday. He was working really well. He's drawn 8, but I don't think that's much of a problem because his strides are really long and he does take some time to get going. So if Nuez Jagal can get him into a one-off position and try to attack from a far away from home, I think he should be bang on there. Benchmark of 41 for the first time, but that shouldn't be a problem because he's a very progressive sort. I'm quite bullish about the chances of number 5, Mind Blowing.
Okay, yeah, I think the 1600 is probably going to be in his favour as well. If you think back of when he went and beat Afdik last time, it was only really, okay, he did get that he was carried out, but it was only really the sort of last 50 that he really got going. Yeah, so the 1600 is probably going to suit Mind Blowing. Obviously, he is coming up in division, but like we said last week, on Wednesday, he looks like one of those typical Gilbert Recette horses that sort of go on through the divisions. Nordic Chant, a good run behind Barack Levan. In fact, I think there's a indirect form line. Memphis Mafia beat Barack Levan. The source didn't finish far behind Barack Levan, although it wasn't the same race, but an indirect form line. I think the source is going to run a cracker, Nordic Chant. Keep an eye on him. And then my horse that I spoke about on Wednesday, Silver Sails. Do you remember me saying that I never saw him trialling with blinkers? So obviously that's why he's not running with the blinkers. But his work on Tuesday morning was very, very good with those blinkers.
He doesn't run with them though.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, that's probably because he hadn't barrier trialed with him. So, but Silver Sails is working well. I would include him in some sort of trifectas and quartets. End of the day, quite a tough race. I'm going to lean towards Memphis Mafia, Nordic Chance, and Mind Blowing. Don't leave Silver Sails out of anything.
Another interesting horse would be number 3, Charleston Hero. Just look at the horses he's run against. The Racing Full Fun, Bad Attitude, Redline Captain, Cool at Heart. He always finishes near them and probably this time down to a benchmark of 41. If he jumps well, this horse, he could be bang on there. Yeah,
they're trying that sort of blinkered hood, which in the past, I remember back in South Africa, that did work pretty well with horses that didn't jump. So you're right, Shirley, if he does jump on terms, we all know he's a classy horse, and he's been losing his races at the start. So, end of the day, quite a tough race. If you are this is the first leg of the pick 6, if I'm not mistaken. So, the third race looks like you're going to have to load a couple of horses in the pick 6. Okay, let's move over to race 4. It's a 1400 meter benchmark 56. One of my favourite horses is running here, but I see he's put on a bit of pudding over the off-season. Rob's Jewel. If you go back to last year, his first run after a 6-month absence, he jumped from draw 9, ridden differently. I thought Manuel Nunes rode him spectacularly, and he went on to win quite comfortably. But he has put on a little bit of weight. We don't know exactly how fit he's going to be, but I'm not making him my first choice, but he is one of my favourite horses, and I really hope that he does well. I hope he's sound, and I hope he pulls up sound. But I suppose Uzo, you got to. I saw the betting yesterday. He opened up at 420, but that was snatched up quite quickly. There was a great run to Perplexing. I thought he was going to need the run, to be honest with you, last time. I thought I was right. And then obviously that international objection. Otherwise, his form is spectacular in Mauritius. I mean, if you take away the objection, 7 runs, it would have been 4 wins and 3 places, you know. So he's a classy horse. Pierce Strome's a top horseman. Yeah, he's a great rider. If he doesn't win on Nordic Chance early on, this could possibly be his first win in Mauritius.
Definitely could be. He's been working well. I think Manuel Nunes rode him last week in training. Obviously, he was beaten by a better horse, Perplexing, last time, and he did put up 12 kilos. If I'm not mistaken, he's lost some kilos this week. The only concern would be probably the 8th barrier. He does have a lot of speed. If Striker can get him into a decent position, he should be bang on there. Uzo.
Okay, it is a tough race as well. What about horses like, there's not much between Uzo and Bonnie Prince if you go on the international day. And then obviously Ice Run as well. He's also likes to jump out and get to the front. Last time he couldn't, but still there was a very, very good run behind Ernie. He got beat just over a length, not being in front. He's drawn 1 this time. I would imagine he's probably going to lead in this race. If you look at, there is 1 or 2. Well, Springman's got a bit of pace, but over further, I don't think he's going to have the speed in a 1400 year first time up. But I reckon Ice Run will probably lead, and you've got to respect the chances of Ice Run as well. If he's left alone out in front, he could probably go all the way.
Yeah, it depends on what Manuel Nunes will try to do on Rob's Jewel, if he's going to try and cross over. But this is a really tough race, because don't forget number 4 and number 8. Racing for Fun, he ran a cracker last time against Ernie. He was finishing off very strongly. I know, I'm very happy to see Brandon Louis getting the ride on him. I know he loves this horse. Again, he'll be finishing off very strongly. Waltike has been a revelation this season, probably a star in the making too. He's won 2 now. He beat Hastings last time, and Hastings, we know he's a very good horse too. Drawn 3 probably will be in the box seat with Derek David on board, so Waltike can't be discounted too.
Okay, so we agree that so far the 3rd and 4th are pretty tough. What would be your selection? I'll tell you mine before I'd go Uzo to beat Bonnie Prince, Ice Run for 3rd, and then I'm going with Rob's Jewel as well. I know you're a big fan of Racing for Fun, so you're probably going to stick him in.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Uzo to beat Waltike and Racing for Fun.
Okay, well, quite a tricky race that. We have got different opinions, and that's what racing's all about. And then when we move over to the 5th race, the 990, I've written toughest race on the card. So,
as if the 2
luckily it gets a bit easier later on. Let's talk about this 5th race. Obviously, Barrack Street, I was very bullish about his chances last time. He won a good race. Unfortunately, once again, it's surely every single horse I like on the card is drawn in the bush. Barrack Street, I like the way he won. I like his South African form. Yes, he is up in class. Well, quite a big jump up in class from a 41 to a 61. But he's only got the 52.5 kilograms on his back. I don't think he particularly has to lead this horse, but I think he is a very classy horse. If you go back to that early South African form, I think I'm going to lean towards him as my first choice, although it isn't an easy race. Licario, he ran a cracker in the first leg of the 3L Championship. What I like about Licario compared to Rob Roy is that he's proven himself in South Africa. He was a 3-time winner over the sprinting distances, and I suppose that was a nice debut, 2.5 lengths beyond Rule the Night. You've got to appreciate his chances as well. And then before we got onto the show this morning, I said to Shahil, my value bet is Sud Vest, and then I had a look at the betting, and I see he's been backed into favourite. He's 4-1, 400, 3-1. So Sud Vest, I reckon that this horse, if he jumps on terms, he's going to be a tough horse. He's going to be a big competitor in this particular race. Shahil, not an easy race. Give us your sort of opinion on this tough race.
Actually, my first choice is a horse that you haven't spoken about, number 2, Purple Tractor. Actually, he's a horse that does really well over the 990. He's won a race against Trap Lord last year. I haven't seen much of him at training this year. I don't know if he's fit enough to run this race, but if he does run like he was running last year, he's a powerful sprinter, and I do believe he's in with a big chance. Obviously, Barrack Street, we were very keen on his chances on his debut. Unfortunately, like you said, he's drawn in the bushes, being drawn 9. Unfortunate also that Striker can't make the weight, but he's a classy horse, even if he's jumping 4 classes probably. Let's see how he goes. Barrack Street, and for third, I do agree with Sud Vest. He was slow to begin last time out over the 990, but he did make up some really good ground to finish only 2 lengths of Prince of Thieves. If he jumps on term this time, he should be one that will be finishing off very strongly.
Yeah, he's got some very good 990 form. I was having like Nottinghamshire, the Answering Genesis, even Al Mariachi, those sort of horses are top horses over the sprint distance. So Sud Vest drawn 2. I reckon if he jumps on terms, he's a big runner. Barrack Street, I think he's got the draw to beat, that 52.5. But another tough race, 3, 4, and 5. I think we have to load as far as the pick 6 and pick 8 is concerned. Luckily, it does get a little bit easier. All right, and then there's the feature race. It's a 1,500 meter rating, 60 plus, and wow, it's a beautiful race. It's a race packed with some top horses. I'm leaning towards that sort of Nebula run, that Nebula form. The first 3 horses on the card ran behind him last time, and as far as I'm concerned, all 3 of them had excuses. Let's start off with last year's horse of the year, Hard Day's Night. He jumped from drawn 9, and he sort of, I just think that he went a little bit too fast, a little bit too hard, and he had to falter in the straight of his first run. He got beat 7 lengths by Nebula. He's drawn 3 this time. He's a lot fitter. He worked pretty well on Tuesday morning. I was happy with his work, and Hard Day's Night, if he sort of comes back to his, he hasn't left his last year's form. I just think that he needed that first run, and it was a tough race for him as well. But Hard Day's Night must be a big runner. Table Bay, he had plenty of excuses last time. In fact, he was my pick of the training on Tuesday morning, Table Bay. He got caught hopelessly wide. He turned into straight 7, 8 lengths wide, and he got beat 5 lengths. He is unfortunately drawn badly once again, but hopefully they sort of try and sort of, even if he's a little bit further back, not to be racing that far wide, and he'll be doing well as well. And then obviously Baritone, one of my favorite horses. This has got tremendous kick. He was way back on the field last time, and he flew to run second. I think you've got to respect his chances with a 4 draw this time.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing as you said. Baritone was really impressive. Like you said, he came from a far way back last time, and the way he finished, even he didn't have an easy race. I think he got some traffic problem, but the way he finished was really impressive, to finish only a length of Nebula, who took the first run on everyone. So I'm going to go with Baritone actually to beat Cool at Heart. He's an upcoming sort. Probably he doesn't have the same class as the 5-4 horses on the card, but his weight and his draw could probably compensate for that. And looking at the card, I don't really see any real front runner. Probably Downright could tackle him up front, but if Cool at Heart has his own pace in front, he could be a tough horse to catch. And then obviously for third, I'll go with Table Bay. He's drawn in the bushes, never easy to come from that draw. But if Olivier Plastic can get him into a decent position, we all know how classy he is, Table Bay. So let's see how he goes.
Yeah, Cool at Heart. I think we don't really know his limits. I mean, that was a very good race, and I've got no doubt in my mind he's going to lead you again. He's got terrific gate speed. Yes. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to lead in this particular race. And with 54.5, he could prove hard to catch. But he has obviously come up a hell of a lot in the rating. And but my comment next to Cool at Heart is he good enough, with a question mark. That'll only the race will tell. But yes. He obviously is a decent horse, and it'll be nice to see him pull off a race like this. But he is taking on some of the tough, some of the best horses in Mauritius. Well, the best horse in Mauritius, Hard Day's Night. Okay, right. The 7th race, 1400 benchmark 31, and I've got just one rating in my book here, Banker. I can't see this horse losing. 3rd to White River. We saw what White River did. I suppose a lot of people thought he would have won easier in that 0.25 last time, but he had the toughest of tough races. He was caught wide the whole way up that first deal, and he's still a little bit green as well, but he still managed to win a good race. Probably not beating the best of fields, but I just think that he's got better. He's going to be drawn 1. He knows what racing's all about here in Mauritius now, and I think he's going to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, right. Like you said, probably not the impressive the horses to win like an odds-on favorite last time out, but he was hanging out a little bit also in the home stretch. But let's not forget, he's also a very classy horse. He was rated 103, if I'm not mistaken, back in South Africa. So that just tells you everything. His South African form again.
Yeah, I can't see him. So we're going to agree that's the Banker of the day. Obviously, you're not going to make a lot of money if you just have a little bet on him. But if you are an exotic bet player, I would imagine that Play Another Tune's going to be a Banker for all exotics.
Yes.
All right, let's move over to the 8th and final race. It's a lucky last, a 1450 rating, 0.25. And once again, I think that the 3-year-old is going to be a tough horse to beat. Very good run over the 990. It was too short for him. He lost his way a little bit in that race. And then last time from the 10 draw, once again drawn. Well, he's drawn 9 now with the emergency acceptor coming out. But just like Play Another Tune, He's had 2 goes around the track now. He's going to know what it's about. Cedric Sejon knows the horse well. I believe that Watch Me Dad's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat in the last race. Besides the draw, I'm going to make him a banker.
Yeah, like I said, he's going to have to overcome that draw. Another 1450, that's not really easy, but let's hope Cedric can pull this one off. Like even his South African form is really outclassed. One World, he's running the Winter Guineas this weekend. Watch Me Dad should be hard to beat on that kind of form because it's not the strongest of fields.
Yeah, it isn't the strongest of fields, with all due respect to the owners and the horses, and it's not the strongest field.
He just has to beat the draw.
Yeah, but I honestly believe that, he doesn't have a lot of speed, this horse,
Yes.
and even if they do just give him a chance, he's probably going to be too good for them in the finish.
Yeah.
Let's go to, if people don't want to banker him, where would we go?
Probably Mambo. He's very consistent this horse. He's always in the placings. Probably only the time when he was 8 to Good Buddy, but for second is Zen Master, third to Power of Peace, and even last time Grade 5-8 fourth. So he's a very consistent horse, Mambo.
Yeah, I've got him down as my second choice. They tried the tongue tie on him last time. Obviously, it didn't work. They've removed it again. So Mambo, if ever he's going to win a race, it could be a race like this, because if things do go wrong with the favourite, he is probably the second best horse in the race. And then Red Indy, my horse that I mentioned on Wednesday, I believe he's going to run a cracker. Unfortunately, drawn very badly once again. Pierce Stradham's very, very good at placing horses and putting horses in the right place. So let's see if he makes a difference on Red Indy. But you've got to go back to that third behind Good Buddy. That was a very, very good run, and it'll be interesting to know how sort of Jean-Michel Henry and Cedric Sejon sort of compare Watch Me Dad and Good Buddy. If they think Good Buddy's better, well then Red Indy must have a chance. Unfortunately, drawn badly though, but end of the day, I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to banker the last 2 horses, play another tune and Watch Me Dad, and hopefully I've loaded enough early on to get through. But some tough racing early on, but it finishes off a little bit easier. So let's see how we go. All right, Shahil, let's see. Let's put you on the spot. What's your banker for the day?
Obviously, and we play another tune. I'm also quite bullish about the chances of mine blowing, so let's see how he goes. And probably for the value, but I like Danger Rock can strike on his debut.
Yeah, okay. Well, my banker also obviously play another tune, but I'm going to give 2 bankers. Play another tune, Watch Me Dad. I think he's going to be too good for them. And then my value bet was also a Pierce Stradham horse.
No,
Well, Sudves has been back to favourite now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought there was a bit of value there, but he's been back to favourite. There was also Pierce Stradham's riding. Oh, yes, in the third race, Nordic Chant. I reckon that this horse has got a big chance. The way that he's been working, purely on work. I like his run last time to Barrack 11, so I'm going to put him down as my value bet. I think he's trading about 700 or 800, I'm not sure. But Nordic Chant will be my value bet, and I'm going to give you 2 bankers for Mother's Day. Play another tune and Watch Me Dad. All right, well, that's the wrap. We will be with you next week, Wednesday. We will be reviewing this meeting, and we'll obviously have a look at some training as well.